An organic approach to design was also fundamental to the work of Frank Lloyd Wright. Wright worked for Adler and Sullivan for 5 years, and during that time closely with Sullivan. While Sullivan's work included organic detail, Wright took the approach further. Some of his work leaned on organic form, while other projects express a kind of organic likeness to the surroundings. We see this in his Prairie School designs. However, his most famous project to accomplish an almost complete organic synthesis is a residence he designed for the Kaufmann family called Fallingwater. The clients wanted the home to have a view of a waterfall on the property, but Wright decided to set the home directly on it. The building features a series of unique cantilevered porches as it cascades down and across the site. It's the epitome of a building that both responds to context and enhances a sense of place. Frank Lloyd Wright worked for Louis Sullivan, who worked for Frank Furness. Furness was a prolific architect whose buildings were idiosyncratic, to say the least. He was talented and unusual, and his buildings took the Victorian style, popular at the time, in a fanciful new direction. He was also clearly impressed and influenced by Gothic Revival work of the earlier century. Furness manipulates form and scale to the point that it distorts the architecture. His buildings reflect his inventive, aesthetic flair. They are powerful, overgrown, and quirky in their use of common architectural elements. Everything was different, including the colors, textures, and ornament. His columns, archways, roof shapes, and finials are all oversized, squeezed, stretched, accentuated, and unique. They are also organic with recognizable, however distorted forms and design. Frank Furness was an American architect who pushed the boundaries of style. Spanish architect Antoni Gaudí, on the other hand, created his own. Like Furness, Gaudí's work was idiosyncratic, particularly his church Sagrada Familia, begun in 1882 and still under construction. The natural world influenced the forms of this church, and other churches inspired its layout. The idea was to use traditional organization and elements as a framework for the fantastic. Like other churches, it has an entry, towers, colonnade, aisles, nave, and apse. However, to the contrary of the genre, it looks like a building in constant motion, grown from the earth or from another world. Its form is based on nature's botanical and geological treasures, and its shapes and details make allusions to seashells, the ocean, waves, sand, the shoreline, rolling hills, and rocky cliffs.